her to come home with her kids? Are you going to want her to? Are you going to tell your son, yeah, bring the girl home? Are you going to bring her with the kids?
100%. If my son is happy and he comes home to me and is like, Mum, this is the woman that I love, and I am going to marry her, and these are her kids. 100%. Who am I to tell him what to do?
I do agree with that.
And I'm very nurturing.
But as his mother,
okay, the vetting process is. This is what I mean when I say the vetting process is broken, because clearly this lady's giving like horrible advice. Your son is coming and asking you for help, and you're just gonna sit there. Oh yeah, because you love her, it's fine. No. That's terrible advice for your son. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mike here, Money, Marriage, and Media, and we are back across the pond again, this time with Sarah Garvey. Would you date a baby mama? Oh, boy. Here we go with this again, right? Okay. 1,000 subscribers, people. That's what we're looking for. Let's break this one down and see what we got.
Brilliant business, really successful, already had 2 houses, married a woman, a single mother at 37.
Ooh, good.
Would you allow your son to do
how
that?
old was he?
He was
the
27.
person I know was 27, 28. In that
And he dated how old?
37-year-old.
37, single mother.
Oh.
But how am I allowing?
Like,
You're saying allowing as if I have control.
No, but
What's going on here? A man who's well-to-do at 27 marries a 37-year-old, and she's got a kid. Okay, right off the bat, I'm gonna say this is nothing wrong with that as long as the woman is bringing enough value to overcome the fact that she's already got a kid. Again, I single moms can date too, but they need to bring that much more to the relationship in order to make it work. So as long as she's doing that, I don't have a problem with it. Because clearly, I mean, they got married. The guy was getting something out of it. He had to be. Now, knowing how the narrative goes about this, we're probably not going to hear what she was providing. Because right off the bat, you're 37 and most men tend to date younger. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, she has to have like extremely high value in some way or form. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Let's see what we got.
What I mean is, would you be happy with that?
Yeah, would you say, I want her to come home with her kids? Are you going to want her to? Are you going to tell your son, yeah, bring the girl home? Are you going to bring her with the kids?
100%. If my son is happy and he comes home to me and is like, Mum, this is the woman that I love, and I am going to marry her, and these are her kids. 100%. Who am I to tell him what to do?
I do agree with that.
And I'm very nurturing.
But as his mother,
okay, the vetting process is. This is what I mean when I say the vetting process is broken, because clearly this lady's giving like horrible advice. Your son is coming and asking you for help, and you're just gonna sit there. Oh yeah, because you love her, it's fine. No. That's terrible advice for your son. Like, you have it, like, okay. The vetting process is not just a one meet and greet. It's supposed to be over an extent. It's supposed to be over a period of time, at least 6 months. And it shouldn't be. And if you're a mom and you're vetting a woman that your son has brought, you shouldn't be evaluating it based on his feelings. You should be evaluating it based on her skill set as a wife. So no, this advice is terrible.
His mother, as his mother, your opinion matters.
100%.
Okay, let me finish. Femininity isn't cutting me off. So it's like, as his mother, your opinion matters, right? Yeah. And so it's like, you could say, oh, son, I don't think that's maybe a good idea, or you would say it's a good idea.
Why would he come home and ask for my opinion, though?
Because he values you as he values his
but I mean,
mum.
Do you go home every time you get in a relationship? Do you go home and ask your mum's opinion?
I'll say this: when I got with, I was in a previous relationship for 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. And I got with a single mother, and when I never had any children, right? And I specifically remember my mum saying, "I don't know, son. This might not be the one, but I know you say you love her, but I don't know." And the thing is, my mum turned out to be right.
But also,
right? Because my mum, as a woman of age who's already had her children, she could foresee the future that I couldn't see. I'm in love,
Exactly.
Mom, I love this woman. Yeah, I'm great.
Exactly.
She's thinking, down the road, son, there was no red pill, there was no manosphere to help me out when I was in that situation. I just had my mum, and I didn't listen to her. Do I wish that I would have? Hell fucking yeah. Because my mum had an insight and a wisdom that I didn't have. So as a mother, you have an insight and a wisdom that your son doesn't have. So when your son comes to you in his 20s or whatever and says, Mom, I found a woman and, she's got children, and are you literally going to be like, yeah, son, that's the one?
No, you're going to be like, children.
Yeah, come on.
I think there's a difference between sitting your son down.
Age of 40.
And I think there's a difference between sitting your son down and being like, son, you haven't got kids yet. She's got kids. Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
Do you understand the
Are you really
responsibilities that come with this? Are you ready for this? I think there's a difference between having that conversation and being like, oh my God, no. This is wrong. You should go for someone with no children.
You said you're what, 37, 2 children?
Yeah.
Would you let, because you know yourself.
Yeah.
Would you let your son choose you? A woman just like you, 2 children, 37, and he's in his 20s. Would you let your son choose a woman just like you?
I would probably say no, because I just wouldn't want to put that pressure on someone that's 27.
Right.
For me, I just wouldn't feel comfortable being with someone at 27. I'm just saying, like, this comes with a lot of responsibility. We're probably different life stages. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's probably going to be a no. And that's what I'm saying. I would have that conversation with my son. But ultimately, it's his decision.
Of course.
Yeah. So I would have that conversation.
But you've given some advice, though.
Yeah, I've given some advice. And like you said, there's that foresight, that insight that comes with.
Yeah, because you've got it, right?
Exactly.
But I just think if he doesn't have kids, like, it doesn't matter how nice she is. Like, I would tell him to not deal with her because she's got kids.
Yo, I have not ever seen anybody embark on being a stepfather and it work out. Haven't seen it, young man. So if it's a woman out there and you're possibly looking at going further with...
Okay, we're going to end that because, I don't know who that is, but it's not Sarah. We just saw Sarah. So we're going to leave it here. In fact, we're going to back up to that part of the podcast. And because Sarah is the man on the right. So, show him some respect. So here's the thing. Remember, I did say this in the beginning that single moms don't, it doesn't necessarily, they can provide makeup. Single moms can overcome the fact that they have a child, okay? But the amount of the value that they have to bring in order to make up for it is going to be different for every guy. Now, in this example, we don't have enough information here. So based off just what they've said, my answer would be no, you need to find somebody else. Because there's a lot going on here. Number one, she's 10 years older than him, and she has a kid, and you're already well-to-do. Like, it's just there's a lot going on there. And I wouldn't, if that was my son, I'm gonna be like, son, you need to go find somebody else. No, leave her alone. Because, no, you got too much to lose. And that's too much responsibility for you to be trying to take on when you're 27. Now, and Sarah's he's as old as I am. You're in your 40s. That's a little different, okay? Because you're mentally you're ready to take on that kind of responsibility. But the other difference is that you know yourself well enough to understand what value that you're looking for in a mate. At 27, that's going to be hard pressed to find. Most guys don't know what they're looking for in a mate because they're still trying to develop themselves. In 27, you just now starting to get into your career, and even then, you're still a couple ways away from before you hit your financial stride. This was the difference between men in their 20s and in their 40s. So in your 40s, you pretty much know where your life is going at that point. And at that point, that's why I said it gets a little tough. But based on the information that was given, which was next to nothing, I would say no, because it's just we don't know what kind of value this 37-year-old who's got a kid. I mean, are we talking about this a newborn? Is it a 10-year-old? Is it an 18-year-old? See, all those things can factor in. Is it an 18-year-old? Well, it might not matter that much because he's gonna be gone anyway. See, but it also the other thing is that does the guy does he want more kids of his own? See, this is again, my answer would be no right off the bat because you can't. There's too many variables in there that we don't know. I'm not saying it can't work out. It absolutely can. But there are too many variables in there to try and figure out, okay, well, what's the nuances here? And we're just not going to get that on this podcast. Most podcasts are not going to go that in depth into that question. But, for all you single moms out there, you got to figure out, because there are a lot of you out there, and we got to solve this issue in our community because it's just like, no. We can't sit here and complain about all the single moms and then do nothing to improve the situation for the next generation. Single mom households have proven to produce women who turn into single moms. So there's got to be some kind of workaround for that. My workaround is that as a woman, you need to be providing enough value so that you offset the fact that you already come with a child. But I'm going to leave it there. High-level conversation, because, at least from the panel, not so much from this side of the camera, because we kind of knew where this was going, right? But the fact that they're willing to address the stuff about the vetting process. That's what I forgot to talk about, the vetting process. I like what they said. I like what Sarah said about, I went to my mom and asked her for her advice, her opinion on things. Now, if you notice, he still had to make the decision for himself, but his mom still gave him some information. So that's all we're talking about here as far as the vetting process. And again, the vetting process is not supposed to be a meet and greet and you're done. It's supposed to be over a series of at least 6 months to a year to where your mom is getting to know this woman. So she can start judging her on what kind of wife skills she possesses. Right? But hey, I'm going to say goes to the next time. Peace.